And we're going to talk about choosing your battles. Choosing your battles. Please share the live as you guys come in. Please like and share the live as y'all come in. I'm really excited. Today is Friday. It's been a heck of a week this week, trying to get so much done. Let me switch my framing over a little bit so y'all can be right in front of me. It's been a lot this week trying to get so much done with I had two, well, not two. I had one grant and one grant revision due this week. I had two proposals, no, one proposal due this week. I think I have two or three more I need to do. Um, Building a brand is a lot of hard work. Everything from marketing on social media to making sure the quality of your products and your websites and yada, yada, yada is consistent with your aesthetic and it aligns with your brand. Thank you so much for coming in. Thank you so much. It is a lot of hard work. And for those of you who are new here and are unfamiliar with me, my name is Sharday. Welcome. I am a licensed therapist. My degree is in marriage and family therapy, but I'm a licensed professional counselor, substance abuse treatment practitioner, yada, 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 a psychological autopsy investigator. That one is very interesting. Hopefully we'll talk about that one day. But I'm a supervisor, so I supervise residents. I'm a professor. I teach graduate school classes. I've written and published 10 books. I just created and started a tech startup on mental health and wellness. So I am consistently try to use TikTok to promote myself and my businesses, but also to just share love and positive energy in the world. It's such a hard place to be in sometimes when you're just trying to show up every day, but politically, economically, financially, things are just in a very challenging place. And people are struggling. So it feels really good to put good things into the world and share with my people. Because that's what my purpose is. My purpose is to love on people and specifically to curate space and information and love on Black folks. That's why I created my practice. And that is what I focus on every day. So I serve niche communities, specifically like Black folks. I support and serve LGBTQ folks. I work with a lot of trauma and family conflict and couples. I work with a lot of veterans and active duty members. So I love the work that I do. I love it intrinsically. It is ingrained in who I am and how I show up in the world. So I'm really excited, as excited as I am to share and still build on social media and all of that. Social media is very exhausting for me. I am not. I think I signed up for Facebook in college and undergrad as a freshman. So like it's been a long time coming with the build of social media, but now I'm older. I have children. I have a family. It's exhausting. But I understand how necessary it is when you're building a business. And so I'm trying to be intentional about connecting and communicating this way because dancing and doing those posts, that's fairly easy to me because I love to dance. That is one of my first loves is to dance. And actually a random fact, years ago after graduate school, I started a dance class that was completely free in collaboration with a recreation center when I lived in Louisiana because I just love to dance and I love to share that love with kids. So that's just that was totally random, a total random fact. But today we're going to talk about choosing your battles while I do some work, y'all. I thought it was necessary to have this dialogue because I find that this is a conversation that I have often in teaching people the value of, not choosing every battle, but also clearly understanding why people choose their battles so frequently And I think a lot of it too has to do with, well, especially folks who didn't feel seen or heard or struggle with being a people pleaser or standing up for themselves. It can feel like every battle is necessary because you may be backtracking when that's not necessarily the case. Um, it's building on the skill, but in a way that doesn't take away from you or doesn't completely exhaust you, if that makes sense. So that's also equally as important. Um, Finding a way to love on you and do for yourself, but not overwhelm yourself with things that don't matter. What is this? Why doesn't it? Oh, there we go. Sorry, y'all. That was a mess. Um, but yeah, that is in a way that doesn't take away from you. So I think sometimes the hard thing is that the battle is people consistently and constantly feel like they are in the fight for their life, and I think a lot of that is about um, surviving. I think people are in the routine of surviving, and so it's hard to take them out of that routine when they feel like that may be the only thing that has saved them from feeling run over or taken advantage of for granted, so that's a hard thing to compete with when you want to support people in coming out of survival, because to some degree it's worked. It has served them in many ways, um, to get through something. So that's a that's a that's a mm, that's a difficult place, if that makes sense. um but I definitely want to answer questions today. Where did it go? I definitely want to answer questions today about what that can look like. What the heck? No. Oh, I get it. 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 But we are working today. We are working. As you guys come in, please like and share the live. I'm so glad you all are here with me today. I'm so glad to be with you today. It's a beautiful day to be alive, a beautiful day to give and share, a beautiful day to grow and love. It's a beautiful time to be. So I'm really happy you guys are here. But we're talking about, so when we're talking about choosing our battles, I think sometimes that also comes down to what you're triggered by. Quite often, people are they're unclear about what their triggers are, and so they will engage in every battle because it arises quite often some emotional reaction or impulsivity, and it's tuned into something they feel harmed by, hurt by, and it most times has nothing to do with the person in front of them, but because it is not dealt with, it is consistently responded to. So a lot of it is also becoming aware of what your triggers are and what is bringing you into this place of what feels like emotional impulsivity, because it is. But again, not choosing battles that don't belong to you. One important boundary that people seem to struggle with is you don't have to run to fight a fight that's not yours. I'm going to give you an example. Let's say you have a friend who talks about their partner and how poorly they're being treated and all of this other stuff, right? And then they come to you, wanting answers from you, or wanting you to fix it, or wanting you to do all the things. The thing you have to know is as soon as you insert yourself and you have all this opinion, or you confront the partner and then they decide to turn around and get back with them or do the thing they were doing before, you have essentially shot yourself in the foot. That was not a battle for you to fight. That was not a battle for you at all. Oftentimes, people before they even come to you know what they want to do already. Whether they choose to do it or not is on them. But inserting yourself in a battle that has nothing to do with you leaves you with resentment and anger, because if they turn around and go back to that partner, now you're mad because you inserted yourself. Unnecessary battles. That's not a necessary battle. It's just not. Do we, I think, as people, oftentimes feel inclined to save people from themselves? Yes, but that's a us problem. That's not a them problem. That's a us problem. Um, we need to figure out better ways to manage and take care of ourselves versus only feeling empowered when we're managing and taking care of other people, at least to our thoughts. That is the harder thing to do, is to take care of ourselves, because oftentimes I find that people feel quite helpless when it comes to them and their issues, but they feel empowered to have an opinion on or do something about somebody else's problem. That's typically the struggle. It's like, I want to intervene more for myself, but how? But that's not necessarily a question you ask when it comes to someone else's issue, which is always, again, very interesting to me. Always very interesting to me. Um, yeah. I want to answer you guys' questions too. Ooh. Yeah. Um, Sometimes, why does it keep writing things like this? I'm so confused. What? What is going on? Why is it writing it like this? But welcome. Do you guys have any questions or anything you guys want to talk about? Use it this as a time. We are jamming today because I am working, but I'm really excited about trying to come live more. I am working toward living for me and not for others. Thank you so much, Jay. I appreciate you. And is it Talio? I hope I said that properly. It's a thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you guys so much. I think the first question then is, why do you find more value in living for others? That's the hardest question. If I'm working so hard for other people, do I not then find value in doing that for me? And if that's the case, I guess, why am I not valuable enough to deserve all of that? Because that's a great investment. A great investment that we make in other people, of our time, the thing we can't get back or replace, of our energy, of all the good that we do and we put into the world. It's a really difficult place to be sometimes, especially if it's so ingrained in you and it's been rewarded for you to take care of other people, but it's not rewarded for you to take care of yourself. You haven't been complimented, or it hasn't been giving value for you to take care of yourself. If it's only been rewarded and valued for you to take care of other people, that typically is where and why people get in the routine of taking up care of other people, because of course they feel needed, one, and then two, it's reward. They get the reward, they get the acknowledgement, they get the value, confidence, they get all the things that they don't necessarily get when they're taking care of themselves. Does anybody see it? Does anybody care? Does anybody value me being my best? Does anybody see the importance of me taking personal time, or the value of me saying no with a period at the end, like that being a full sentence? Will people respect me taking space? Will people respect me saying no? And whether they do or not, it doesn't necessarily make it it's still necessary whether they do or not. Oh, I mean, listen, when you are the oldest, there is so much responsibility that is either explicitly or implicitly said or implied. Everything from you're responsible for your siblings to just day-to-day psychological and emotional tasks that you are assigned. And it's not even just the things, again, that they explicitly say, hey, you need to watch out for your siblings. I am someone who in 6th grade, 7th grade, I started writing. I'm from Los Angeles, for context. I'm from Los Angeles. In the 6th grade, I started riding the city bus home. In the 7th grade, I would ride the city bus home, stop, walk to my sister's school, pick my sister up, and then walk both of us home. Even that level of responsibility, and again, that's not something I'm ever blaming my parents for. They were at work, trying to do their best to take care of us. And so they needed a solution that would make sure we were safe and made sure that we got home and all of that. So I understand. It just doesn't take away the responsibility of it all. When they would get in trouble for things, and then they're looking at me like I'm supposed to have some fucking say so. And quite frankly, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Those are not my kids. So I also say this too. I understand now, as a parent having 3 children, why the chain of custody, if you will, why the chain of responsibility is important. So on one hand, it does put pressure, and the responsibility is a thing that comes with it. However, it also builds a level of community and consistency in a relationship that is necessary. So I will also say, in that same vein, now as I'm older and my siblings are older, we have great relationships. We have relationships where we can confront each other, get on each other's nerves, but we come back to each other. We do have a relationship where we value our children, building relationships with each other. We do have a relationship where we look out for each other. So whereas, I think of a lot of life like The Sims, and that it was it was so much before its time. And if any of you have played The Sims, I'm going to use this as a metaphor. If any of you have played The Sims, you know how, like when you're raising children in The Sims, like if your Sim has a child, blah, blah, blah. When you're starting to teach them things, it'll say, okay, if you make this choice, or when you make the choice, it increased this and decreased this, or it increased this and it decreased this. This is not different in that way. In one way, it increased my level of accountability, responsibility, my level of awareness and insight, my protection, my desire to go forth and be responsible. But the other thing it did was create this level of perfection that I felt inclined to have. It made me feel overwhelmingly responsible for people and things that I couldn't control. It parentified me in a way that although I knew I had no power, it would look like I was supposed to have some and do something about it. So it was a very contradicting role in a lot of ways, also because I have a Black mom that don't play that shit. So there was a lot of hypocrisy in those two things, but I do understand why the system was necessary, if that makes sense. I understand the necessity. I understand the piece of survival, which is important. Um, I'm in charge of handling my mom's funeral right now, and it's been so, yes. And so I think I would say to that, and again, y'all, this is not advice, or you're gonna do whatever you want to do. This is not therapy, but I will simply say, let people help you. Let people do things for you. Sometimes that's people bringing food. Sometimes that's people just saying a positive word. Sometimes that's people coming to clean up. Let people do things for you. I often find that people will say so often, oh my gosh, no one shows up for me. Oh my God, Sade, how I show up for other people, they don't show up for me. But then my question is, well, it's not that no one shows up. And then when people show up, do you invite it? Do you welcome it? Do you say yes? Do you let your guilt or shame or your embarrassment or your desire to be all things push people away so they don't keep offering or asking or even trying, because you have all the answers and you can do all this shit on your own? Sometimes we send two very different messages. Do we need the help? Do we want the help? Yes. But then do we push it away? Yes. Do we send this message like, I don't need you, I don't need your help, I don't need anything? Yes. Then the other conversation is, well, why is it that this person consistently needs help or is asking for stuff, and people run to them to give them help? Because they keep asking, because they keep making themselves available to get receiving. Like now, I'm not saying this all or nothing approach. That we're talking about context here, okay? But there's value in the audacity. I was talking about this, not this last live, but the live before, and the value of the audacity to accept help, the audacity to ask for help, the audacity, allowing yourself to be taken care of. I find that is more awkward for people than to just do it themselves. People would rather, although they will say out of their mouths, I want people to help me, I want people to do all the things. When it comes down to it, they would rather avoid the discomfort than to accept help or accept caretaking. They would rather avoid the discomfort. Like, it is way more uncomfortable to be cared for and people to caretake for you than for you to just do it yourself and then complain about it. What do you say to that? I'm uncomfortable. Yeah, absolutely. Because it's uncomfortable if you have been born, raised, and inbred in this idea that you are a servant to other people's needs. When that is a both and statement. Like, we are definitely in service and in love and in care and in all the things, but to us first. To us first. We come first, and then everything after. Us first. But because compliance typically with children is the goal, we don't teach balance. Yeah. What is keeping you guys from being consistent with prioritizing yourself and your needs, even pleasure or creativity? What has become a barrier to that? What's become a barrier to you prioritizing yourself? Because I can tell you, I intentionally every day make time for myself. I don't care if that's just me eating dinner alone, which I do often, just to have a little bit of peace. My shower time is mine. I don't like to be interrupted. I try to play video games. My plants are mine. Don't come in here. Don't touch them. If you come in here, don't touch them. Leave my babies alone. So I am very intentional about that. Now, do I think I need more of that? Yes. Is it ever enough? Probably not. But is it intentional every day? It has to be. And I see you say, life, kids, everything else needs to be done first. Well, I think too then, but that also speaks to what you've decided to prioritize. If I've decided to prioritize everything being done first, that's what I'm going to do. But if I myself am my priority, I'm going to make that first. I'm going to make that, and that doesn't mean you're neglecting anything or anyone, but it can be something as simple as, um, for me, oh, another thing that I do and is a priority and necessary part of my routine is to go to the gym. So I'll wake up at 4:30 twice a week to go to the gym, and then on the other days, I go 2 other days. I'll go after I drop my kids off, but that's not optional, unless like again we have some appointments or something like that, and then I try to make up my days on other days and work that out with my husband. But me going to the gym is not up for discussion. It's just not something that's optional. I've lost 60 pounds. It took me a long time to get this far. And I'm in the best shape of my life in the last 10 years. I feel the best I've ever felt. That's not up for discussion, or it's not an option. When I get there, I feel good. Getting and detoxing all of the stress, all of the shit that don't belong to me, all of the people, place, and things, all the worry, all the things where I get to feed and pour into my body and listen to good music and have a good time for just a short time. Start my day off right. That's necessary. If they want to get good out of me, if they want to get best out of me, if they want to get better out of me, you better believe I better be good first. While the kids need food and the kids need this and the kids need that and my husband needs this and the house needs, listen, if you want to get good out of me, you better make sure I'm good. Let's all make sure mommy's good, because if I'm not good, the ship sinks. The ship doesn't function without me. My care is not optional. It's just not. So even down to incorporating vitamins, and y'all, I know this is big on here, and this is not a promotion in any way, shape, or form. I do not get paid for saying this, but I'm gonna say this because I was doing this far before this whole kick. I have been using Mary Ruth's for a while because I don't like taking pills, or like I don't like it. So I've been using Mary Ruth's for a while, and I prefaced it with this because I know you guys are here on TikTok, and Mary Ruth's is a big push right now. But I was using Mary Ruth's before all of this. I take the iron and I take the vitamin, and what I'll do in the morning just to make it easy for myself is I mix it with my protein shake, or I mix it in just like some orange juice or something, and I'm done, and my vitamins are done for the day. But I recognize that that is a necessary part of my self-care, is making sure I have all of my vitamins to make sure my body is functioning well, especially because I work out so much. And I'm a therapist, so I'm pouring into people for a living all day long. I have to make sure I have the energy, I have the attention, and all the things. So that is one of the things that I incorporated into my lifestyle, is making sure I have my vitamins every day. I make sure I incorporated fiber as well. So usually my little protein shake is fiber, is iron, is liquid iron, and is Mary Ruth's multivitamin. I have it again, most days. I try to be intentional and make sure I have it most days. I try to get it out first thing in the morning so I don't forget. Getting more protein so I can trim and like tone. So I don't have a large appetite. Again, I've lost 60 pounds. So my appetite has decreased a lot. So I drink a lot of my protein. So I have protein shakes that I buy for myself, and nobody has them but me. I buy turkey sticks because they have 16 grams of protein. My husband and I share those. I buy a lot of the Chobani flips. Like, I love yogurt. That's a great source of protein. And it's good to me. I usually have that in the morning with a protein shake, some yogurt and a protein shake, and I'm good to go. Making sure I go to the doctor, making sure I go to the dentist, making sure my oral and medical care, my physical care are top notch. Because I got to be here. I can't take care of all these things and people if I'm not here in the first place. Every time I turn around, someone is being diagnosed with, sorry y'all, cancer, or let me put my phone on do not disturb. Every time I turn around, somebody is being diagnosed with cancer. Every time I turn around, people are getting sick, and I can't afford to do that. I work. I bring in money in my household, so it's also important for me, not just as a caretaker and a mother and all wife and all the things, but just as a human being. I want to be here. I want to be here. Um, Curating your space is also really important. So every time I sit down to start therapy, I light a candle. I keep candles. If I don't spend money on anything, I'm gonna spend money on plants and candles. You heard me. Plants, candles, and Lush. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with Lush, but they have the best organic washing products. So I buy all of my shower gel and stuff from Lush. I need that to feel like a top-notch luxury experience when I'm taking a shower. Again, things that I curate that make me feel good. So I also want you guys to think about things that you can put into your routine and your lifestyle that just make you feel good. And it doesn't have to be big things. Excuse me. It can be buying particular snacks, making sure you have things for your shower or your bath that make you feel good, making sure you have that time that's interrupted and people are not constantly running into there asking you for things or asking you questions or talking to you. So you just have a moment to yourself. Do you take any time during the day? And I don't mean just scrolling on your phone, like not just laying in the bed or on the couch or wherever you are, just scrolling on your phone, because that can also be extremely distracting, but not necessarily caretaking for you. What are you intentionally doing to take care of yourself? And how are you incorporating that into your routine every single day? It doesn't have to be something super time consuming, but it should be something you're doing every single day. Not as like, oh, I got a little bit of time, let me just throw this in there. Nah. How much water? Because I'm going to tell you, that's the other thing. I notice that so many people go throughout the day and don't even drink. They won't even take a lunch break that they actually have. They too busy working, but still trying to figure out, why am I exhausted? Why am I tired? Why I don't even take advantage of the things that are built in for me to take care of myself. I won't even take that advantage of that. Or if I do, I allow people to interrupt it. If I say I'm going to go on lunch, I still make myself accessible. No. When I'm on lunch, leave me alone. Go to your car. I don't care if you. I used to go to my car when I used to work for an entity. I used to go to my car and take a nap. I would even go to my car and say, I don't want to talk. Close. I would lock my door, turn the lights off. Leave me alone. It's my time. I don't give a shit what I do with this time. It's mine. Take your time. Go out for lunch sometimes. And I don't mean you have to go spend money. Go take your lunch and go sit at the park. Get out. You have freedoms that you don't even take advantage of. You so busy trying to prove yourself. Yes. Sit out. Yes. I would go sit. There were days where I just had enough and I would just walk out and go sit on the curb. The cars rolling by, you straight? I'm straight. I'm minding my business. I would just go sit outside and go sit on the curb. I don't want to be bothered. Leave me the fuck alone. Give me some time. I can do whatever I want to do. That doesn't make me any less valuable. Making yourself accessible to people 24 hours a day, 7 days a week doesn't mean you're any more valuable. That just means you have less boundaries. That just means you're willing to sacrifice all of yourself and all of your time. And for what? For what? Same thing with being a mom. I would have moms say, well, if I got off work early, that I need to go get my kid. For what? Aren't they in daycare? Aren't they in school? Don't you pay them for that? Go to the mall. Go swimming. Go to the movies. Go home. Fuck. Go home, take a shower, get in your pajamas until you go pick them up. What you're paying for a service. Don't let your guilt make decisions for you. You need rest. Go get it. And stop making excuses not to have it. You're always going to be a mom. You got a lifetime full of being a mom. Yeah. I don't have any more clients today. I think I have one more today. Because I've started taking my half days off on Fridays. I used to be off on Fridays altogether. So I cut my Fridays short. And you think I'm going to get my kids? No, I don't care if to be fair, I have a self-care appointment. Then I'm going to go and play video games in quiet. I got a couple things to do to work on my business, but I'm not going to, no. My daughter asked me this morning, Mommy, can you come get me early? Yeah, but early is subjective. I got to take care of myself. I work very hard. I work multiple jobs, including my business, which is a job in and of itself, every single day. I don't owe everyone my time. I do not. I don't. I'm still a fantastic mom. I'm still a fantastic therapist. I'm a fantastic business owner. I am a fantastic wife. I am a fantastic all the motherfucking things. And I'm not coming to pick you up that early. I'm just not. This morning, I'll give you a great example. My daughter didn't do something she was supposed to do. And now a lot of you guys are unfamiliar with me, or if you're new to me, I am very type A. Very type A. So I typed up my daughter's responsibilities morning and evening. She has a checklist on the back of her door. I typed up her affirmations for every day. I typed up just rules to take with you, meaning things like no is a full sentence. You are a leader and a follower, but you lead always and you follow when it's necessary. Be mindful of how you show up in the world, because you can't erase someone's experience of you. Like things like that I have written on the back of her door, because my daughter gets very distracted. I'm so tired of reminding folks every day, okay, all the time. Hey, did you do? Hey, I'm saying it 77 times. I'm tired. Typed it up, put it on the back of her door. She gets up. Hey, make sure you follow your checklist, complete your checklist. We walk out of the house. She doesn't do something she knows she's supposed to do. And so I flat out asked her, I said, hey, if you're honest with me right now, you can get a little leniency, but I am encouraging you to be honest. Did you know you were supposed to do this and you chose not to do it on purpose? Yes. I said, oh, okay. So what consequence do we think should come with that? Let me know. So I took her tablet. I went and got me some Starbucks. She loves Starbucks. I'm getting me some Starbucks. The fuck? I'm getting me some Starbucks. We go on and mind our business. But the thing is, I cannot teach you how to be responsible and be in the value of what I'm telling you in the rules if I keep rewarding you for not following them. Because guess what? It makes more work for me. When you don't follow the checklist, I took my time out to type up, put on the back of your door, make available to you, and you choose not to do things, that then tells me you could have made a choice to do it. Whose then responsibility is it? It's mine. I'm only one. And I'm not going to experience the consequences of you not taking care of yourself. You're going to experience those consequences. Is it going to be reflective on our family? Yes, that's unfortunate. But you as a girl that will become a young woman are going to experience that. Not me. I take very great care of my person. And trying to instill that in kids is also letting them experience the consequences of not doing it. It's modeling it for them consistently, but also, because this is the other thing you guys have to consider. If you're modeling you're modeling for your kids now that they are not a priority. They do not need to prioritize taking care of themselves if that's what you're doing to you. They are watching you. They're watching you. You may not ever say this, but they're watching you and how you show up, and you are modeling for them how to show up as a parent, how to show up as a woman, how to show up as a man. You are modeling for them, regardless of what comes out of your mouth. So if they see you not prioritizing you, what do you think that says to them? We can't be accountable for some of it. We have to be accountable for all of it. If you want them to take care of themselves and prioritize themselves, so do you. So do you. Thank you. So do you. Stop making excuses and stop making them be your excuses, because then you resent the thing that you use as an excuse. Oh, I had to take, oh, I had to do, and nobody told you that's how you had to do any of it. You made a decision. Then it cost you something. I'll use another example. For years, I wouldn't let anybody do my daughter's hair for years. Until my husband said, why don't you just pay somebody to do that? And I looked at him and was like, so what you trying to say? Like, I'm not trying to say anything. I'm just saying, like, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're doing a lot. Why don't you just let somebody else do it? Now, we had those experiences as a kid where we would every now and again go get our hair done. But my mom did my hair a lot. Braids, press, the whole thing. It would be a whole day with all three of us doing our hair. That was a choice she made. And I really appreciated and valued that as a mom doing my daughter's hair. However, what's wrong with me letting somebody do her hair? Nothing. 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 Nothing's wrong with it. So this is where I choose my battles. Choose my battles. I'm going to do her hair. No, I'm lying. I actually heard the scheduled appointment for her hairdresser to do her hair before school starts. But I told her after that style, which won't last long because she wants a silk press. It's hot in Virginia. She don't have no perm or nothing. Okay. All right. After she gets this done, I'm then going to do braids. I taught myself how to braid in middle school. I braided as a hustle for years. I stopped braiding because I got carpal tunnel in my hands and I wanted to save my hands for when I had kids. So I had to stop braiding other people's hair when I had kids, but I braided as a hustle for a very long time. So now I only braid my daughter's hair because that's all I have the hands to do. But I have a million other things I also have to do too. Why do I have to only be the person that does her hair? I don't. That was a choice. So I did something different. Same thing with house cleaning. We had a housekeeper growing up that would come once or twice a month and clean the house. And we loved her. And I didn't quite understand it at the time because you got to know, Black folks are very particular about their homes being clean, usually. But I incorporated that too because I need to save my time. If I am spending so much time cleaning, cooking, hair, school. I was a PTA president last year. I own my business of 8 years. I've published 10 books. I actually have one coming out August 31st. If you guys want to check that out, it's called Unburdened, the Reclamation Theory. I created a therapeutic theory. I'm doing a lot of things. This is a battle I don't have to choose. I clean up. So my routine is I pick up every day. Every single day I pick up. If I have a couple loads, like right when I get off, I'll go fold those loads real quick. It takes me no time to fold clothes. Folding clothes don't bother me. I can do that real fast. I fold a couple loads, straighten up, because getting up on Saturday morning cleaning for hours and hours and hours, which is what we used to do, I don't want to spend my Saturdays doing that anymore. I want to get up late on Saturdays. I get up early every morning during the week. I don't want to do that on Saturdays. I don't want to do it. I don't want to be a drill sergeant. So the rule is when my daughter comes home, she has to clean up. She needs to make sure her before she goes to bed, she needs to make sure her room is straight to some decency before she leaves out of the house. I pick up every day. So I don't have to do a whole bunch of hours of something at one time. It's exhausting. It's exhausting. So how can you choose your battles? Think about the battles you're choosing and which ones you can give away. Which ones can you give away and give you more time for even just for yourself? She does. She loves getting her hair done. My teen has just been diagnosed with ODD. Navigating that is rough. Your teen, how old is your teen? Because teen is a wide range. When you say your teen, 16, but they just got diagnosed at 16? They just got diagnosed recently at 16? Oh, okay. I mean, what is the resolution? Like, what was the purpose of the diagnosis? Or what is the intended solution? Is this medication driven? Is this accommodation driven? Is this what's the driving force here for that? He's gonna do PO. Okay. Like long term or short term? Because he's old enough if he's doing a PHP. Thank you. Okay. And did they talk to you about what the plan, if they're going to do a short term, what the plan is after that? So for all of you guys that don't know what a PHP is, it's a partial hospital stay. So there are times where you, I'm trying to think of an easy way to explain it. You may have like a child who may struggle with emotional or psychological challenges, and they may go do a partial hospital stay, which is kind of aligned with residential in that they will go for an extended period of time. It depends on the hospital, but 5 to 6 weeks is typical, where they go and they'll do groups every day. They'll do individual therapy. They're more likely than not get medication. They will ideally learn tools and resources. They'll be connected ideally with resources when they leave. So it can be a very beneficial experience. But I guess the thing is how the important thing I would say to ask is what does aftercare look like? And having a solid aftercare plan before they leave that is in rotation, because what I found was I worked a lot of places, but I used to work in a residential hospital, a psychiatric hospital, and we had a PHP program, blah blah blah. And what I found was that the stronger their aftercare program, the more successful they would be without having to return. So as long as before they leave those walk out those doors, hey, it's nice to see you, Linda. Before they walk out of those doors, to make sure they have a solid aftercare plan that incorporates all the things, therapy, if they're going to continue to get medication management. And because of their age, I would even incorporate some creativity or some kind of independent care, like getting a job, like volunteering, like a lot of times teenage, they need something to do. If you leave a teen to be bored into their own devices, you're setting them up to fail. So like finding them things to do, things that they enjoy, get some extracurriculars going, but a solid aftercare plan is always very, very, very helpful in sustained, like, recovery, if you will. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Started doing something, but it all just started. So we go to, oh, okay. Yeah. And I mean, again, depending on, oh, sorry, y'all. Depending on the program, they usually will incorporate family and like create plans before y'all leave. I don't know if this program incorporates family sessions and stuff. It really depends on the program itself. But I would definitely tune in and stay connected and like communicative with whoever their case manager and or therapist is while they're in that program. Excuse me, because all of them are not created equal. They're not all created equal. I'll just say that. They're not all. And then also being mindful of like when your children go to these programs, you have to know they're going to be exposed to some things, because there's a great spectrum of psychiatric needs that's going to show up there. So just also be mindful of that. They may see and hear some things that they may not be or might not have been exposed to just yet, because again, in the PHP, it's not just kids who may have psychological or emotional challenges. They may have impulse challenges. It's going to be a wide range of exposure. So just to be mindful of that. And again, that's not necessarily to like scare anyone. It's just the nature of the beast. I would have a lot of people come in the hospital, and I was in admissions. I would have a lot of people come in admissions, and they're like, well, I don't feel like I should be in here with this person because they're doing all this stuff. I don't feel like I should be in here with this person because I don't do all that. I'm not. There's a spectrum that all exist in the same place. So that's just a part of the experience. Sometimes they try, I don't know where they're going, but sometimes they try to like portion it off depending on what they're there for. But a lot of times they can't do that. So you have a lot of people are in the same space. And just to keep that in mind, this is not at all to scare you in any way, shape, or form. But I just like to be forward about that because, yeah. So yeah, good luck with that too, because that could be a fantastic experience, and it could be a life-changing experience. Um, yeah, it could be a life-changing experience to say the least. I've seen kids come out and like be completely different. So I hope that your baby gets what they need. Yeah, yeah. But that's also the joy. Oh, oh no, I'm not gonna do that then. Um, I'm just excited that you decided to accept help, because people will struggle, and because they're embarrassed or whatever, they won't accept help. And there are some resources out here too. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Thank y'all for being here. There's some great resources out here too, but you of course first have to accept help, and a lot of times that's hard for people to do. Um, yeah. What is this? Why are they accepting speakers for? That's so weird. Masca, mask. I'm applying for some conferences. I'm speaking. I've spoken at like 5 conferences this year, and I have one more at the end of the year. Um, that's so weird. Um, oh yes, it's been a battle for him and Dad, and I appreciate it. For sure, these. For sure, these. Oh, I didn't see. All right. Thank you all for joining. So today we were talking about choosing your battles. We were talking about choosing your battles, and I think one of the places that I find is like really hard for people is that what? Oh, okay. Oh, it's in Arlington. Yeah, they have a conference that I'm working on applying to. Uh, hmm. I don't want to speak pre-conference. I want to speak for. Okay. My plan is to do more speaking engagements and all of that. So I'm applying to more this year, but I've done 5 this year. I'm actually exhausted. Um, I'm actually exhausted. If you have any clients that would be. Oh, wait. So if you guys, I always get resources, and this is another resource. They didn't say the age, but they have an opportunity where therapy for Black girls is having a, it's called the Holding Space Foundation, and they're accepting people, I guess, to go in it for free. I don't really understand. I just got an email about it, and I was going to share the resource with you, but it doesn't have a lot of information on here, which I'm a little bit confused about. They have a 4-part group series on, and they're 90-minute workshops. says, please share this application. If this is something, you asked me the same question twice. What question? I didn't see a question. I don't really understand what they're doing, but it's through therapy for black girls. They're having like a holding space group or something. So if you guys want to check that out, I really don't understand what it's. I am a little confused on what they're doing, but it is available. If that's something you guys want to do, I get resources all the time, and I try to make sure I share them. The other thing too is if you guys have insurance, please make sure that you're using your EAP benefits. If you have EAP benefits, make sure you use them. Those a use or lose kind of thing at the end of the year. So please make sure you're using it. Okay. If you guys, also your insurance has benefits like seeing a nutritionist or sometimes incorporating massage. Are you taking new clients? Yeah, yes. I'm thinking because I just told my receptionist to not, but yes, it will be a very short period though. Do you live in the state of Virginia? Are you in the state of Virginia? So this is why I paused. I am taking coaching clients and I'm taking a very limited number of therapy clients because I am already slammed and my schedule is slammed. And a lot of my clients schedule ahead a month or two in advance. And so I really don't have a lot of time. And if I don't have efficient time for folks to schedule, then I won't take on anyone new because I don't like to interrupt the process for my current clients. And you said I can take you for coaching. I'm not licensed in New York, but I could do coaching with you. Okay. And that was a good question. How licensing works for therapists, there's not been much movement on cross-state licenses just yet that are a little easier to navigate. Every state that we decide to get licensed in, we have to do that separately. So if I decide to get, and I'll use New York as an example, so legally because our license only applies to the four corners of the state that we are licensed in, we have to get licensed in every other state to do therapy. Now that's why coaching is so prevalent now, because coaching is somewhat of a new experience in that they don't have limits on where you can see people. So I can provide coaching, but it's not therapy. And the way I approach coaching is a bit different, and insurance won't pay for coaching. Coaching is all paid out of pocket. So those are some of the differences and nuances if that makes sense. And I know it can be confusing to people because a lot of times now you'll see a lot of therapists provide both coaching and therapy, but that's also because it's two completely different services, and the way you approach those services have to be different. And with therapy, you have to be licensed in whatever state that person lives in. So like if one of my clients move and they move to a state that I'm not licensed in, I can no longer see them. So I actually have a client, that's also what I was thinking about. I have a client that's relocating in the next couple of weeks. So we're working on finding them a new therapist. They can no longer see me because they need a therapist in their state. And I know it's super inconvenient and it's hard to navigate a lot of times, because who wants to change a therapist, because you relocated? It does make it super inconvenient for clients. And then, of course, for therapists, because we want to support people and continue to support people if we can. Um, so it does make it difficult to do, because there's literally nothing we can do other than, thank you so much. There's literally nothing we can do other than to refer you to someone in that state, or we get licensed in that state. And I can promise you, licensing in and of itself is an arduous process. Thank you so very much. Licensing is an arduous process. It is expensive. So for every single license you have, so for example, I have 3 licenses and 5 certifications. You have to pay for all of those. Every year I pay for my licenses. Every couple of years, thank you so much. Thank you so very much. Every couple of years, I have to update. I have to update and pay for my certifications. So why does it always do this weird shit? Damn. Okay. Thank you so much. Futuristic. Thank you. So you're talking about hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every single year, because that doesn't also include your continuing education units that you have to get every year. You have to get continuing eds every year, to include ethics. And then you have to renew your license every year. And this can be hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. The more license and certifications you have, the more that it costs. The more places you are licensed in, you have to pay for all of those. So it's one of those things where I literally just told one of my clients yesterday, thank you so much. I literally just told my clients one of my clients this yesterday, as much as I've wanted to go and get, the 2 places I actually wanted to be licensed in was Mississippi, because of the lack of support and the lack of presence with Black therapists there. And I wanted to get licensed in Texas. New York is also a place I've considered. If I do that with all of the licenses I already have, I'm talking about at least $3,000 or $4,000 a year just to be licensed. Like just to be licensed in that particular state and see clients in that particular state. It is absolutely ridiculous. And I know it. And but I think that you've put something on my mind too, because I've thought about it. I just never pulled the trigger on it. Like I've thought about it. I've looked at the requirements. Going through licensing just irritates my spirit. It's this entire, all this information you have to fill out, and then you got to get test scores, and y'all, like, but thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm going to put that on my list of considerations, because in New York was one of the places I actually did consider, with Texas and Mississippi, because I want to be visible in places where they need Black providers, and effective Black providers that can provide support and services. That's really, really, really important. Thank you. You know what? It feels like sales. I'm trying to be more effective with like asking for it. It feels like sales. Like it feels like, thank you. I receive it. So y'all, please like, subscribe, give gifts if you feel so inclined. I'm gonna get better about that, because I don't do it enough, I think. So yes, but I will say this, in the interim, if you're trying to use your insurance, Therapy for Black Girls is a good space. Clinicians of Color is a good space. Therapy for Black men is a good space. And make sure, this is the thing, when you go on these sites, start with your insurance. Because if you go through all the rigmarole of researching and looking and blah, 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 and then you find out this person doesn't take your insurance, it will drive you mad. Start with your who takes your insurance if you're planning to use insurance, and go from there. Now, I will say this. If you find someone that you absolutely love, one of the things that I don't know if many of you know is that you can call your insurance and ask them, hey, I want to see this provider that's out of network. Can I be reimbursed for my out-of-pocket costs if I do that? And there's a lot of times when insurance will do that, but you need to call and ask them if they will do it, and they will only do it for the contracted rate. What does that mean? If this person, let's say this person charges $180 an hour, and the insurance company says, okay, I will reimburse you for $120 an hour. That means you're truly out of pocket the difference, $60 an hour. But you, with self-pay, you always have to pay first, and then you get what's called a super bill from your therapist, and that you submit to your insurance company for them to reimburse you. But that is an option. If you find a therapist that you love, again, I've paid out of pocket for therapists that I love, and I have insurance. Because my experience means more to me than just taking whatever I can get. But I also know it is a very costly experience. So I try to rely on my, especially doing it so often, I try to rely on my insurance as much as possible. Oh yes, y'all, please, thank you. Like and share the live, y'all. But if you please use that resource and share that. If you have insurance and you find a therapist out of network, meaning they do not accept your insurance, and you have to pay out of pocket, call your insurance company and say, hey, I want to see so and so. They are out of network. Can I be reimbursed? And if so, how much will you reimburse me for these particular services? And what is the process? Because I know TRICARE will do stuff like that for sure. And I've heard of other insurances doing things like that as well, but you need to double check with them because that's not a guarantee. I'm just telling you what is possible. I don't know if it's possible for you in particular, but it's an option. So you don't have to feel funneled into like choosing someone you really don't want. But there's a lot of providers out there. So try to do the other thing is you can do a consultation. Consultation simply means we are meeting for the first time. It's what I call is a mutual interview, because I've also, as a therapist, said, yeah, I don't think you're the right fit. Let me refer you to somebody else. I do not think I am adequately prepared to provide you the service you deserve. Let me refer you to someone else. I will do that in a heartbeat. It's no point in subjecting both of us to something that doesn't work. And you should be doing the same thing for yourself. If it doesn't work, if it's not a fit, this is your money, your time, your investment. You can move around. Don't feel inclined to just have someone to have someone. If it doesn't work for you, do what works for you, especially with finding a therapist. But as we wrap up, because I have a client in 3 minutes, please share the live, like the live. I appreciate you guys so very much. Go to my website, thebarefoottherapist.org. The link is in my bio. I've got some free assessments there. I'm going to upload another free tool there. I just released my Healing and Hustle workbook. That is there. It is a digital download. It is beautiful. I think you will all love it. My book, Unburdened, the Reclamation Theory, is being released on Amazon on the 31st of August. And that's just a theory I created out of my work. And I'll have more coming soon. Oh, if you guys are interested in becoming beta testers for some of my mental health and wellness apps that will be released soon, please go to rooted-one.com and you can sign up for the waitlist to be a beta tester. I'm really, really excited to release those things because I think it's a reflection of things that we need. So thank you guys so much, and I will see y'all soon. Bye-bye.